Hello, friends, and welcome. Today, we get underway with Cowboys mandatory minicamp. What do mandatory mean? We'll find out. What's Micah Parsons up to? Clarence Hill is out there at the start. We'll talk to him here in about 15 minutes. Let's do a DLLS Cowboys podcast, and let's start it. Meow. Do a DLLS Cowboys podcast. Let's hit that like button. Shout out to Carrie. He says positivity today, guys. Hope springs eternal. Positivity. Jeff, try it. You'll like it.
Ooh. Shout out to Dan Myers. But what does hope springs eternal? Like eternal what?
Well, hope
eternal
springs eternal.
I think it's the eternal springing of hope. I think it's
forever. You want to be. You want to be having hope at all times.
I feel like
forever.
I feel like that's that conversation that Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. Hope spring eternal. Nobody can really explain what the hope spring eternal.
I think
hope
it's
will never fade away.
Yeah, I think you go through trauma, and then from the beginning, and then you just keep going and going, and it builds, and we all have hope that springs eternal.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen, I didn't know that they had a podcast. Jesse showed us Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown discussing. Do you think you have CTE, and what is CTE? And I don't want to laugh. I really don't.
He laughed.
They laughed.
They laughed.
They laughed. Their definition of CTE, I don't think they have a good handle on, but there was some real wisdom in their chat.
There was.
Welcome in, everybody. Let's talk Cowboys football. My name is Jeff. Next to me is former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Next to him, fresh off of a nice weekend of protecting us all in ways that you will never know about. The second greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
I was camping this weekend.
Yes. Camping indeed. Yes.
Yeah, camping.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of places with trees. Danger, and things that need watching.
I did see a bald eagle this week. That was kind of cool.
It's pretty badass.
That was, yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Real Jason Bourne-ish out there.
Yeah. I picture wherever Joe was camping, it was very Predator. If you've seen Predator.
Yeah.
Where he just on the lookout, on the prowl, staying safe, with more weapons than you could possibly dream of.
Yeah.
Camouflage.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, guys.
So it's mandatory today.
Mando.
Everybody's got to be there. Clarence Hill is out at the Star, so we'll talk to him in the second segment of the broadcast day. And we're going to end up talking again about Micah Parsons. What's he doing? Is he out there? What are we doing? Joe, do we already know? Do we already know
He's
what
expected
he's doing?
to be there, but we don't know to what extent. But I think history and kind of his actions so far would tell us that he's not going to do much, which I think clarify or kind of segues into being a hold-in. If you're going to be there, you're going to be learning the playbook. That's great. You're going to be a leader. That's awesome. All vibes all the time. But in terms of actually participating, I personally don't expect him to do that until he gets a new contract.
What are you laughing at?
I love our chat.
What did our chat say?
I love our people. Dro knows. Joe just came back from a sleepover with Jason Bourne and John Wick.
Dro, that's classified. Be careful, Dro. Be careful about the information you share about me. That's all. Just be careful.
Vance, who gets a deal first, Micah or TJ? TJ might be screwed. Okay, so the Cowboys.
Well, Trey's in trouble.
The Cowboys might be. They are bad at this. They are bad at this, and we can talk about how the Cowboys are probably also frustrated because they're bad at this, and now people are like, yeah, I don't have to answer the phone when you call. I'm just going to call you when I'm ready to take every single dime you have. And then they're like, but why won't you talk to me? Because you have a track record of what you do is you don't engage, and then at the last second you give everything. So we're just going to skip all the BS, and we'll see you at the end, and we'll take all your money. So I think Steven's mad about that stuff, but whatever. Because TJ Watt, I think, has the same problem Trey Hendrickson has. Except T.J. Watt has more of a track record of eliteness.
Yeah.
But I think them older dudes that are like, hey, teams are kind of like, I'll see you when you get here. But Mike is a baby. Like, Mike is going to get all of his monies.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't know if TJ or TJ Watt, who is not at Steelers camp, mini camp.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson is not at Bengals mini camp. Yes, if either one of them signed and it was for more than $40 million, Micah's price goes up again. I don't know if it'll happen.
Yeah, I don't think either one of those guys will get a deal that will make Micah's deal move in a positive way, like the number. They'll get something probably. But to your point, Micah's going to get every single red cent that he wants if he just waits.
Nickels, dimes, dollars.
Every single
Euro.
penny he is going to get. You know that. You know that. Chad, I hope you know that. The Cowboys know that. Micah knows that. David Malugeta knows that. And that's why you don't see as harsh or aggressive or mean-spirited type of things come from Micah. He's just like, it's all good.
I know what's happening.
Like, it's all good. Like, you know, I'll
My
be
leg
there.
could fall off. I'm still gonna get it all.
Yeah, like I can make the calls to Schotty at night and wish him a good night. I'm gonna get the bread. Like, there's nothing that says now if the Cowboys do a complete 180 and turn and go the opposite way and to do everything that they have not done in the last 10 contracts when it comes to these type of players, it will shock the world. But I doubt that they do that. They're going to pay Micah, and Micah knows that. And so now they just wait until the Cowboys look around and they go, okay, now we have to. Mm-hmm. Right now, you don't have to. There's nothing, we talked about this yesterday. There's nothing that Micah will gain, maybe outside of conditioning-wise, in OTAs.
You got the giggles today.
What's up, bro?
You got the giggles today.
Can we pull up the super chats?
You're laughing at your own joke in the super chat?
No. Now, Joe, first Dro knows. This isn't the one that made me laugh, though. Joe vacays on those islands where you can hunt humans. That's not, no.
Whoa.
No.
It's not
It's not a thing.
It's not the most dangerous game if you are the most dangerous person. Okay.
Oh, facts. Captain Thunder. Can you stop being puppets for greedy players? Jerry and Micah had a deal, and Micah talked to greedy failure Dak, and now he's money grubber Micah.
Money grubber Micah. MGM. Call it MGM Grand from now on.
You know what? But Captain Thunder, it's you talk about the players are greedy players.
But you're talking about the owner being greedy, the one with all the money.
The one with all the money.
That doesn't spend it to try to win at football.
Who has all the money, who doesn't spend it. And if you're a season ticket holder for a team that did not go to the playoffs last year, has not won or been to the Super Bowl in about 30 years, just raise your ticket prices.
Yeah.
It charges you $100 to park.
Depending on how close you want to get, it could be more than that.
It starts at, if you're walking from a mile away, you're going to pay at least 70, 65, 70.
You get real close, it'll be $1.50.
Which is crazy. You pay $35 for one of those Cowboy Ritas. We got some for
what have you done for
the Mexicans?
For the Mexican
For the
fans?
Got
We got
those
these Cowboy
Cowboy
Ritas.
Cowboy Ritas.
That's going to cost the Mexican fans $35.
100%.
You know what I mean?
It costs the white fans $35 as well, I'd like to tell
okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the greedy one. The players are just trying to get a little bit of the pie.
Trying to get
a piece of the pie. Like, understand, if a dude is saying, give me 60, you know that in order for someone to give you 60, they have to have that times 60.
Yeah.
To give it to you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. And M. Lennox is in super chat. Good stuff, fellas. Keep being great. That's
Thank you,
my
brother.
kind of super chat.
That's
Hit
a
the
great
like
Thank you, my
button.
boy.
Thank you so much.
Who is the greediest guy on the Cowboys? Leave that in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Leave that in the chat.
Which guy is taking food out of Jerry's mouth to try to take too much money?
Oh, he's back.
He's
back.
Captain
Here we go.
Thunder. Yeah, come on. It's a hard salary cap. Why do you have to act like it's our owner's
It's really
fault?
not a hard salary cap.
Mr. Jones is not at
Mr.
fault.
Jones?
That greedy interception-loving Dak is.
It is not a hard cap. It is very, very soft.
Technically, it is a number you cannot go over in that year.
Yeah.
So, like in other sports, you can go over the number. So technically, it's a hard cap. But you can manipulate it all you want and move money wherever you want to if
Exactly.
you're willing to write checks for signing
Captain
bonuses,
Thunder
which
is
your owner's not.
Definitely one of the Jones grandkids.
Which one do you think it is?
What's
That's a fun game in the chat. Which grandkid do you think Captain Thunder is?
the one that went to Texas?
Paxton.
Paxton Anderson.
You think it's Paxton wouldn't type with that many
No,
capitals.
that's Shy. That's definitely Shy.
Yeah.
Shy's real close
No,
to Grandpa.
Paxton is going to be.
He's vibes.
He's going to be the vice president of player personnel at some point in his career because he's found him already on Overshowed.
That's your hope. Your hope is Paxton Anderson Jones or Paxton Jones Anderson.
G from Jersey with a good point. It could be Jason Witten.
Whoa,
It could be Witten in there.
Nah.
Whitten?
Nah.
Whitten?
So are we ahead of the curve because Mike is actually there? Like, are the Cowboys doing better than the teams whose guys aren't actually showing up?
I do think that there's one semblance to, if we're talking hopium and positivity, like I do think Brian Schottenheimer has connected with Micah Parsons to be like, hey, dude, I just need you here. Like, hey, man, like we saw on the phone call too. Like contract stuff, it's gonna figure itself out. But like, can you just be here in terms of learning the playbook, learning the vibes? You don't have to participate. I do think that might be an olive branch. That could be a change in things. That is the one hopium thing. But I think that what we're also seeing here is Micah Parsons just understands the game, like you guys have talked about. David Mulugeta has seen the answers to the test. He says, hey, just chill. You know, I mean, I'm going to wait on that phone. I'm not waiting by this phone because guess what? When the end of training camp comes and they kind of want you to get signed, they will sign you because that's going to happen. You're going to get everything you wanted. CeeDee Lamb released a video, I think this week. It was on his documentary, but it was showing his reaction to getting his deal. And it kind of just felt like, I was listening to it. He got everything he wanted at the time he wanted. I mean, everything was good. So I think that's what's going to happen with Micah Parsons too. And it's funny because we talked about this.
Better be funny.
And it better be funny in pre-show. Like, if the Cowboys are getting snippy about this, about knowing that their answers to the test are out there, one way to subvert it is to next time just flip the switch, flip the narrative, and sign a guy early before markets reset themselves. Because if they would have signed Micah early, then he would have got everything he wanted before he knew that everything he wanted was more than what he wanted.
I don't know what any of that meant, but I think I bet it was. I bet it made all the sense.
The hot dog or the bun.
What he wanted before he got what he wanted, because how much he wanted with the want.
It's a rhyme wrapped in a riddle within an enigma.
Yeah, be careful there.
Yep, 100%.
Definitely.
That was an enunciation
Definitely
test.
be careful there, right there.
That's the wrong word to stumble on, Joe.
No, and I almost got there. But I nailed it.
You did. You landed the dismount.
Yep.
I was talking with
Thought you was about to say, oh, you said it. Oh.
Well, it's been a long time.
Well, let's not go down that road. Let's not go down that road.
So I was talking with our friend Brian, brought us on my little tiny YouTube channel, which this show is on today. So if you're watching on my channel, make sure you follow the DLLS Sports channel as well. About the Cowboys and their negotiations and I don't even know how to line all this up, because if Micah tells the truth to Clarence, which is like, I told them to call my guy, they haven't called my guy, then they haven't really tried. But Broadus is floating the idea to me that like Steven is really frustrated when Clarence stopped him coming off the field last week or whatever, and he got fed up with the Micah questions. And he thinks it's because like they do want to get this done. But the agents are like, no, it's established how you guys work. I don't have to do this with you right now. I'm going to enjoy watching you call back later and offer me more and more and more until I have everything I could possibly dream of. And in that scenario, if that is true, I just want the Joneses to know you can beat that too. Just hit fast forward.
Yeah.
What you're going to call to offer, what you're going to call to, no, offer the one that you know it's going to cost. Like, you can get yourself out of this, but the Cowboys are now in a spot where the fans who think that each player is greedy or they're taking the Cowboys for everything they can, they're taking behind the woodshed, you're absolutely right. The premier players are doing that. But it's because the Cowboys have established that this is who they are and this is how they do it. And so they're stuck in a prison of their own design, if you will.
Oh.
Where the guys are like, yeah, guys, I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to do anything. We will wait till the last second. They will be desperate, and they will give us every time. So, yeah, sure, call the players greedy or whatever. Call the agents greedy. Say it takes two to tango or whatever. But you can break out of this prison you designed by changing who you are at any moment.
100%.
When the going rate for edge rushers was 34, if you just said, all right, what are we going to offer him? 34.1, 34.2? Give him 37. You're still going to beat that 40 to the market.
Yeah.
Give him 38.
And it makes
Call
them
and say,
feel-
what is the number
right.
that gets you to respond to me?
And-
Sign it. And now you're not the guys you were anymore. You're not the, they wait till the last second and they negotiate hard and then eventually get their butts kicked. Like, you just had to break out of it at some point.
Yeah, and the Cowboys they're willing to pay him to be the non-highest paid quarterback in the NFL. They're willing to do that, but we still have no deal.
Yeah, and we all know what the numbers are going to be. I can give them to you whenever you want. Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, our buddy Clarence Hill. He is out at the Star. He'll have the very latest of everything that is happening today at the Cowboys, not OTAs, mandatory minicamp. He'll join us next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Father's Day is coming up. And if you want to get the man of your life, uncle, brother, dad, granddad, something new,
Get him a coffin.
well, don't get him a coffin.
Coffin?
Oh, my bad.
Jesus
Coffin?
Christ. Get him
Is it made of wood?
Get him floor. Get him something to put
Floor, yeah.
Get him something to put his feet firmly down on in the daytime before he goes and attack the world. And when you do it, don't just go to any old big box store. Go to EmpireToday.com because they have the experts that will get you everything that you need for the man of your life. Don't miss the opportunity to save $350 off new flooring by simply using the promo code DLLS. Head over to EmpireToday.com. You type in that little promo code, and it will get you $350 off. You can get laminate, wood, carpet, vinyl, whatever it is that man of your life desires. Head on over to EmpireToday.com right now and get started on new flooring.
All right, shout out to our friends at Monarch Money because you do need to have money for a coffin at
And
some point.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
And floors. And if you want to, then you need to make sure you know where your money
money's
is.
at.
And
That's
you
right.
need to have
That's
help
true.
growing that money. And that's our friends at Monarch Money. They're going to get you squared away. Finances can be messy. They can be confusing. Our friends at Monarch Money, it acts like your personal CFO. They give you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. I have some things that I overspend on. I found that out with our friends at Monarch Money. I was stunned to learn some of the things that I was overspending on. But you need a clear financial picture so that your financial dreams can be in reach. You can tackle your spending, savings, investments all effortlessly in one place. You'll always know where your money stands without the hassle. That's our friends at Monarch Money. You can track shared and individual accounts, set goals together with a significant other, keep money check-ins drama-free. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code DLLS at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. 50% off your first year, monarchmoney.com, DLLS. This is the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We're going to check in with our buddy Clarence Hill.
He's driving.
While he's driving.
Would you stop the damn car?
Golly.
You know the crap we're going to get from the people in the chat and from the law? And you're looking at the camera.
This is illegal.
It's got to be illegal, right?
It's 100%
gotta be
illegal.
illegal. You stopped? Hey, Clarence, what are you up to, man?
Trying to get to the Star, man. My
Oh.
daughter forgot her lunch and had to drop her lunch off. So I'm doing the Joe Hoyt. I'm doing it from the car instead of in the library.
I
on
parked.
My computer. I'm parked now. You know, it's crazy. I'm driving down the
That'd be
tollway.
crazy.
There are no shoulders. I'm gonna pull up on the shoulder. There are no shoulders on the tollway. So I had to
And the shoulder on
find
the tollway
exit.
is probably the worst spot to park anyway.
Clarence,
The
you've been
tollway,
driving
you
on the tollway for how many years now? You know there's no shoulders on the tollway.
Well, listen, I was just trying to find a park so I
No
can pull over and do this
seatbelt.
thing.
Drive. You just outside wilding.
No, I was trying to get over.
Where your
allegations.
seatbelt at?
Not beating the allegations.
Speaking of
Nothing.
seatbelts.
Yep. Speaking of them, yep.
So Diggs and Parsons have been working out together, you know, in yesterday leading up to their showing up for mandatory minicamp, which is more important than OTAs. And you got players around the league not showing up for minicamp. You know, T.J. Watt, Trey Hendrickson, Scary Terry's not showing up for minicamp. Should we give Micah credit for showing up in the middle of a contract situation since everybody wants to kick his butt for not being for OTAs? He's here for minicamp.
You brought your daughter lunch today, right?
Yes, sir.
Should we give you credit for being a good dad?
Dang.
Sure, I am a good dad.
Should we give you credit for that?
I give him credit for that.
Yes.
I do.
Why should we give you
Yes.
credit for doing what you're supposed to do?
Because we all need
Jesse's
our
on
flowers.
Captain Thunder's team. He says that
We all-
Micah is
Jesse-
greedy.
Jesse, we all need our flowers in the moment. Okay? And you think it's what you're supposed to do, but everybody don't do what you're supposed to do. That's the problem with the world. Everybody don't do the right thing. To assume that everybody knows how to do the right thing and do the right, they don't. Whether it's opening doors for people, whatever, everybody haven't had home training, they don't do the right thing. And when you see people doing the right thing, what's wrong with giving them credit for it?
All right, let's praise him.
You guys got water? Do you want to give? Is that Clarence carrying water?
Let's praise him for showing up.
See, you're gaslighting. I didn't say praise. I said give him credit. See, now you're gaslighting. Don't gaslight me today. Don't gaslight me this morning. But I'm just saying that. And I talked last week. Because you remember I said Calvin Watkins, I ripped Calvin for writing a story about it. It's a bad look, big in the morning news. And he said, people say Clarence was, people do pay attention to our podcast because he got several calls from people saying, Clarence was ripping you on the DLLS podcast. I said, Calvin, I didn't say nothing I didn't tell you to your face. We talked about this, okay? I told you, you're making a big deal out of something that's nothing. CD wasn't here last year. He's in the middle of a contract dispute. Don't make this about Micah not being here in the middle of a contract dispute. And he's here from minicamp. CD wasn't here from minicamp. Let's not make more of it than what it is.
Hey, and you call him, what is it, Crappy Question Calvin? Is that what it is?
Wow.
Crap Question Cal? What are we watching for? What else are we watching for other than Micah at mandatory things? Or not even necessarily watching for, but things you want to ask people? What are you looking at? What are you doing?
Certainly, I already texted Tad, I said we need to talk to Diggs. We need to talk to Parsons. We haven't talked to Diggs at the end of the season. We need to talk to Parsons. We need to see where their heads are at. Outside of that, this is glorified OTAs. There's nothing but an OTA practice dressed up as a minicamp. There's going to be nothing different per se other than it's a mandatory minicamp. And outside of those two guys, everybody's been here. Certainly, Ezraku has not signed his contract. We'll see if he participates without a contract. No second-round pick, I believe, is signed. Am I right, Joe?
Two have, but they were fully guaranteed. So that's why there's the holdup. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have. So we'll see where Ezraku is and how they're going to handle that situation. But there's nothing new going to be under the sun here. It's just another version of Underwear Olympics called the mandatory minicamp. We'll see what Revel is doing. Maybe he's going to do more. We talked last week, and when I talked to Sam Williams, he said he did individual drills for the first time. And so that tells you where he is in his development and rehab return, from last year's ACL. And we'll see where everybody else is. It's interesting to see where, we've seen Diggs' videos, but we also know that he's the furthest away. He and Overshawn are the furthest away. So, no one expects him to be ready for camp. No one expects him to be at the start of the season, but we need to see where he is. Maybe if he talks to us, we'll see why he doesn't get along with Britt Brown.
Oh, I like this.
That's
something that everyone has known for years, but nobody really brought out until this year.
Man, we've seen Tyron Smith work with Tyler Guyton. While you're at the Star today, will you ask around and see if there's going to be a place for Tyron to be around them more often, or is that kind of a one-off type of thing?
I don't know if it's a one-off. I would say that it would behoove Tyler Guyton to try to be around Tyron Smith as much as he can between now and training camp. Now, whether he's going to come to training camp and help out, we can ask that question. So I don't know if this one-on-one thing is a one-off. What I do know is that Schotty has reached out to all the former players, just like he did last week.
Damn,
my fault.
Damn,
I don't matter. I don't matter.
I'm sorry.
You matter.
Listen, I'm not even going to touch this because it's.
You were about to. What were you going to say? What?
Former Pro Bowl players? What you about to say? What you about to say?
Former starters?
What you about to say? Huh?
I'm not getting in trouble this morning.
What
but
he's going to have.
You already did something illegal.
Some of those players who came out to practice 2 weeks ago, he's going to have them in camp for a week. And he wants them to be around the guys. Just trying to connect the present to the past. And he's going to have them around the guys. So I don't know if Tyron Smith will be in that mix. But he's going to have them out in camp for a week. Certainly the Michael Irvins of the world and the Jesse Hollies of the world. And those guys are going to be out there.
Right.
Jesse's going to be with us. Jesse's going to be with us. He got more important things to do.
Yeah. You're media now. That's what you are.
My bad.
Clarence, one last thing that I need to know. Are you dogging under that shirt?
I'm not dogging. I got an A shirt.
Let's go.
Okay, all right.
I thought you went to Atlanta and lost your way, but you came
changed.
back. You came back with some good sense.
I'm gonna be out in the heat. I'm gonna be watching practice. I gotta have something underneath.
All right. Have a great day.
Not talking.
How many singles you got in your wallet?
No, he spent them all.
I'm not a strip club guy. I'm sorry.
What happened on that plane, by the way?
It was too much candy in the hotel at the events I was. I didn't need to go to Candyland. Okay, it was too much candy. I met somebody named Candy from Memphis actually, but I told her I had to throw her back.
No singles in his wallet.
I had to throw Candy from Memphis back because you from Memphis, girl. I ain't trying to mess with you.
Yeah, you go to Memphis, you might not come back.
Walking on Beale.
All right, see you, Clarence. Have a great day.
All right, man. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, put your seatbelt on before you start driving again.
Okay, he was
No seatbelt.
Not only was he on the phone,
Moving.
He was
he
driving.
was on FaceTime,
Looking
video,
at the camera.
looking at the camera,
streaming.
While
driving, no seatbelt on.
Clarence going to prison.
He's wild.
Clarence is going to prison.
He's
Shout out to all you in the chat, but I forgot all the funny things that I wanted to read. And
The chat been on
shout
one
out to
today.
John, who gets the things on the scroll immediately.
Yeah, that is
The little
pretty
title
hilarious.
things,
Yeah.
no singles in his wallet.
He had good dad points at one point and gave one to Clarence.
That point one.
First ever.
Dro knows.
Like his point was because.
Yep.
Like that was it. It was because.
He said, give his ass a ticket, Joe.
Not yet. I've got bigger fish to fry with Clarence.
Oh, look, Captain Thunder. Why is there a big jug of water that says
See, that's
Greedy
hilarious.
Dak in your back seat, Clarence?
That's hilarious.
And trucking life, our buddy Aaron, trucker Aaron here, getting a trucking dog. Beagle or Golden Doodle? Go Cowboys.
Oh,
I feel like Golden Doodle will be kind of
beagles
big.
stink, right?
I don't know, which one's a beagle?
The
Beagle's
with
like
with the
Yeah, like the floppy
Floppy
ears,
ears?
little guy.
I see.
And Golden Doodles are big, but they're I think it's hyperallergenic, where like it's not allergenic. So that might be
I'll
good.
get you a beagle. Yeah.
Beagles are cute.
Yeah, get you a little beagle.
Oh, I'll go with the beagle. Yeah, I'll go with the
Beagles
beagle.
are cute.
But
Yeah,
it
I'll go
also
with the beagle.
depends. Like, do you get out at the truck stop, go drop a deuce for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe go take you a shower at the truck
Yeah,
stop?
for sure.
Get you a Doberman, bro.
Get you a Connie Corso.
Nah, you don't want to be so big.
Nah, you want to be
you don't
big.
be so big.
Yeah, them lot lizards.
Lot lizards.
Keep the lot lizards away.
Get you a mountain
true.
wall.
Oh, Malinois a good one.
Vance in the super chat. Why Jesse taking shots at my alma mater? Hashtag 901.
Memphis.
What did you take a shot at?
Memphis.
Oh,
Oh,
Memphis.
That's Memphis. This is 901.
Well, if you
I liked Memphis.
if that's your alma mater, then you already know. I mean, I'm not taking a shot. They shoot. It's your alma mater that takes the shots. They shoot in Memphis, and if you went there, then you know, Vance. I'm not taking a shot. They shooting folks. In
Vance,
Memphis.
I'll say the one time I was on Beale, there was a shooting. I'm just saying.
The one
So,
time I was on Beale, I was afraid the whole time, and I loved it. Because that's what I said. If you think you could die at any moment, you're living. Why do you think people go skydiving, skiing, all that stuff?
skiing?
When you get skiing,
You
same
feel like
thing.
you're going to die when you're
I
skiing?
don't feel like I'm going to die, but your heart rate goes up because you get going kind of quick and fast, and it
Man,
is
especially
dangerous.
when that pizza don't work.
Yeah, my pizza doesn't work.
Oof,
No, I'm a hockey
Man.
stop guy.
man, I took out a whole fence
Yeah,
in Tahoe.
my French fry works. It's pizza to stop, French fry to go.
Yeah, French fries to go.
My
pizza
French fry
stop.
goes.
yeah,
But if you French fry when you're trying a pizza, it's a bad time.
yeah, no, it's a
Yeah,
bad time.
and sometimes your pizza gets cross-mogenated. Now you're screwed.
Yeah.
That one's gonna hurt.
Yeah, you calzone it?
Is that what it is? Is that a calzone?
I don't know.
Okay, I like that.
Spaghetti. I don't know what it is.
That was a nugget that we had there that, Joe, you brought up before the show that I didn't even realize that Donovan Izaraku, the Cowboys' second-round pick, isn't even signed.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he's not signed, and only 2 guys have signed because Cleveland and Houston decided to turn the tables and say, you know what? Carson Schlesinger, Jaden Higgins, you guys get fully guaranteed second-round deals. And
Which
that
is a first-round thing.
Which is a first-round thing. So now the precedent has been set for second-round picks that you too can get a guaranteed contract, and everyone else is like, can I get a guaranteed contract?
I'll take one.
I'll take one. You get a guaranteed contract. You get a guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
So that's why there's still, no sign for Donovan Izaraku yet. It will be interesting to see if he's out there.
Better be
And
interesting.
if he's participating. That's another thing to watch.
What's the Jimmy Haslam, right? Is that the
the
Browns guy?
Browns. Jeez.
How has the league not run him? And this is just from I'm pro player. I'm for the millionaire over the billionaire. I'm for the thousandaire over the millionaire, and I'm for the people who struggle to pay their bills over the people who are doing great. But I love everybody. Fully guaranteed. Set the market contract for a guy who was under investigation for like 40-something potential sexual assaults allegedly.
Ongoing.
And the whole league was like, we don't do fully guaranteed contracts, and you traded for and did it for that guy?
Yeah.
And so now the whole league is like, now our guys are going to want, and they don't like that. And so now he's also the guy who set the precedent that second-round picks can get a fully guaranteed contract. They're going to run your ass out of the league, Jimmy.
100%.
They're going to run
An
you.
email is going to pop up.
What
Something.
is Haslam's? What's his claim to fame?
The Flying J truck stops.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, he got some stuff.
Is he in
Let me
oil
see.
too?
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
assume every rich white man's in oil. Let me see. He's the chairman of the board of the Pilot Flying J truck stop chain. What else he got going on?
So at least oil adjacent, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else he got.
Not right.
Big Michigan guy.
He's the older brother of a former governor of Tennessee, which is a great way to make money.
Oh,
Have a family member in charge of a
sure.
state
for sure
or a country.
The problem is with like
better be a
other
problem.
owners running out another owner is owners
know
know
you.
the other secrets.
They know you.
Like so you have to do something really bad where they go, we have to do like
And to
the-
where
sure.
you understand that you have to be
right. Like
Where it's
it's not like we want to do it. You know that we have to do it, so we got to do it.
Do you think Donald
Like
Sterling
Donald Sterling.
understood?
Yeah, he knew.
Do you think he understood,
Yeah,
or
he
do you
knew.
think he was like, "You sons of"?
Yeah, like he said it behind closed doors, like you I know I gotta go, but I've been in a lot of places where a lot of you mofos were saying the same exact thing.
You're lucky I don't know how technology works. I'd
Yeah.
have your recordings.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, a coaching conversation popped up with us before the show. How you feel about Schotty, and how much will he improve this team this year? It's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
The only way to go is Mando.
It is.
And
the
the
only
way
way.
that this weather has been humid the last couple days,
Get a coffee.
Human.
you want to make sure that all the man regions and parts and creases and crevices are sprayed down with the perfect scent of man deodorant. And boy, do I have the place where you should go. Mando.com. Use the promo code DLLS and get $5 off a starter pack. They have different fragrances that are more accentuated to men, right? They don't have the foo-foo stuff like the flowers and the roses. They
Barbecue sauce.
have, smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Campfire.
Campfire.
Yeah.
They got smells like that. Sport.
Spaghetti.
Sure.
No.
No.
Leather.
Sword.
Sword. Yeah, iron. Stuff like that.
Okay.
And they get you for all the right places. In the grundle, in the pits,
Yeah,
near
yeah.
the balls, all the places where it can
Jesus.
get sweaty and sticky. Head over to Mando.com, use promo code DLS and get $5 off a starter pack. Mando is the way to go.
Also, if it's getting warm on
my
you out
God.
there,
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
there's stuff in here, and I can still just whip it around.
Look at you.
If you've got a little grundle situation, you're overheating, pop the top on your rugged road, drop that thing in there.
Drop that thing in there.
Drop it in there with your cold beer. Rugged Road is the finest cooler on the planet. We love our friends at Rugged Road. And I don't have to, I've told you many times my favorite thing about the Rugged Road. And yours might be different. I love this handle, by the way. I love the rope handle. But the fact that this sucker floats upright.
Upright.
You go laking,
Like me a lake.
ends up in the lake,
Oh, no.
it'll be floating.
Oh.
Upright. Swim over there, pop that top, grab you one, pop that top. You know what I'm saying? Rugged Road's the best cooler in the business. Gear up for your next adventure with our friends at Rugged Road. Reliable, durable, built to be used. Rugged Road, the ultimate outdoor companion. Go to ruggedroadoutdoors.com. Use the code DLLS for 10% off.
Boom.
No, the chat is lit today.
It really
the
is.
chat, they're just going off today.
We've been kind
man.
of wild today. So
The chat
it makes
has
sense.
been. The chat's been going.
From the
chat has been going.
Grundle. Nope, we can't say it. No,
Yeah,
but
but
it was
we
in
can
the
go-
commercial.
in the
But we
commercial.
can't say it on
But
it.
I'm just going to go like this, too.
Yeah. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We're happy to be with you. Am I behind on any super chats?
I think we
Is there
got
anything
one.
need to-
I think we have at least one. Yeah.
All right, guillotine. Yes, I've been building a guillotine in my backyard for the last week, almost functional at this
You've
point.
been building the guillotine in your backyard for the last year.
I've said I want to.
Oh.
I've begun construction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Unc went to sundresses and seersuckers. That's a suit, right?
Seersucker
is
is
a suit?
it's a material that they
Oh,
make
okay.
suits out of.
Nesto's in the super chat. Remember Snyder tried to blackmail a few owners before selling the team, said he had big dirt on Jerry. That is true.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be part of our show. Here's the thing about it.
Blackmail?
Like with the amount of Jerry stuff that is out there,
Can't really.
that man's bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to get? Pictures?
No, you gotta
Seen
have
'em.
You gotta have the Donald Sterling. That's the only way you
Child?
Yeah.
Seen it.
Allegedly.
Like, what are you going to get on Jerry? Allegedly.
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 Whatever you got on Jerry's already out, mostly.
I mean, think about this.
But I'm telling you, if Rosie ever wrote a book or Rich, I'm just telling you.
I mean, think about this. Like, a reporter came to him and said, "Hey, by the way, a photo of you on the steps of, in Arkansas that has emerged." And
Right.
he's like, "Oh,
bet.
I'll talk about it."
Yeah, he's like, yeah, bet.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, let's talk
What
about it." What about? Yeah, no, it was.
What about
I
it?
don't know,
long
your
time ago.
face looks like you ain't happy
Yeah.
about it. No, I was fine. Coach got mad at me. I support everybody. I
Yeah.
love him.
As
I
a
was trying to see what's going on.
As a reporter, when you're thinking like, "Oh man, he's gonna say no comment. This is gonna get contentious," and he's like, "Yeah, let's talk about it."
Were you at? Did you do the media party this year? Have you done the media party?
I was in the media part
Well,
of this.
Jerry
year.
don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, that man will turn up with the Johnny Blue and then talk to you.
Wait, will we get it? Will we be there during the media party?
I think it'll
bet
happen
it's
just.
before.
I think it's right before.
I bet it's before.
Yeah.
I've been a bunch of times, but like I don't do beat writer stuff, so I don't even say hi to them. Like they just go talk to the people that they know and stuff, and I go hang out and get free food and drink, and it's great. So I would like to say thank you to the Jones family.
See, I've
for
never been to a
great free
media
stuff.
party. Been to a couple Christmas parties though.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Johnny Walker Blue there too.
yeah.
Nobody throws better parties than Jerry.
No, it's facts. Like he had Justin Timberlake at one of them recently. Like, Jerry's paying millions for entertainment at his Christmas party.
That was his Hall
Might
of
have been
Fame.
his Hall of Fame.
His Hall of Fame.
Timberlake was at one of them.
Yeah, I think it was a Hall of Fame deal.
Jerry will be spending. Let's see. Segment 3, coaching conversation popped up before the show. We were talking about Schotty because Jesse asked me something yesterday, and it led to a conversation in our pre-show. How do you guys feel about Schotty? And do you feel like Schotty is worth a win?
I think we don't know, but we also don't know until we know. And then the reference I used was when the Rams hired Sean McVay, there was a big kind of uproar of like, what are you guys doing? This is just a guy that's been like never a coordinator, just kind of a low-level assistant coach. He's young as heck. Like, there's no way this is going to work out, right? And if you were to guess before Sean McVay was hired, or right after he was hired, like how many wins above replacement would he have? You'd say 0 or maybe negative because you wouldn't know. But obviously his scheme is incredible, and we talked about this before the show. He might be the number 1 wins above replacement coach in the NFL now, Sean McVay. Obviously, Schottenheimer's a little bit different in terms of he's been around for a while. We kind of know. We've seen him as a play caller. But I think one thing you got to keep in mind with Schottenheimer is we don't know how his – Clarence will kill me for this – how his culture, how his vibes, how this stuff –
Time out, Joe. Back up. I want you to say it with a straight face because Clarence isn't here.
Okay.
You're allowed to just say what you want to say and not be worried that Clarence is going to be
I'm not worried.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, no. We don't know how his culture, his vibes, and stuff. I do think that,
He's watching though.
Yeah, but you're safe.
Oh, yeah. But you can put into question. It's easy to question stuff and be cynical with it, right?
Yeah.
I do think there is value to a legitimate culture. We
Right.
don't know it until the adversity hits whether that's actually going to be the case. I do think there's value in it. So I think if Schottenheimer is going to be a wins above replacement coach, it might not lie in his scheme a la Sean McVay. It might be in those culture vibes, things like that we've talked about with Tomlin, with Dan Campbell, players or coaches like that.
So my thought is, because when Jesse brought up yesterday, I felt like, damn it, everybody's going to say I'm a hater because it was a snap reaction that I believe, where it was like, how many wins is he worth? I'm like 0, right? Like
That's fair.
He's been an offensive coordinator in this league. He's done there's nothing about him that has been like uniquely, watch out, Brian Schottenheimer's offense is coming to town. What are you going to do about it? There's never been anything like that. And so if we're going to point to something that could have an actual impact on number of wins and losses, you are talking about vibes. And it's not impossible because when we started talking about and kicking around, like, who are the guys that you think legit add wins to a football team? I think my top 2, and fight me if you want, is probably McVay, Shanahan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Reed's in the mix. I think Andy Reid's in the mix.
Yeah.
But I don't give Andy Reid credit because
I give him some.
he had the ultimate.
He's always been a good coach.
He's been a no.
He's always been a great coach.
Okay.
He's always been, because if I'm going to say
Okay.
Shanahan, who hasn't won one, he's
Yeah.
always been a great coach. And then he got Pat.
Then he
And I was
got
like,
Pat.
here, have some Super Bowls.
Yeah, a little cheat code.
None with McNabb and none with Alex Smith, but here, Patty gonna get you some. But still, he was having really good seasons with those
He
other
was
guys.
hanging around the rim.
He's hanging around the rim. Cowboys just need to upgrade the quarterback.
Just see Patrick Mahomes.
Here we go.
Or Andy Reid.
But I do think there are vibes coaches who add wins. Like at least 2, top of the head. And their vibes are different,
Very different.
But they're vibes nonetheless.
but they're vibes. Tomlin adds wins. And he doesn't call anything, right? He's not calling
No.
plays on either side.
No.
Nope.
Vibes. Dan Campbell ain't calling nothing. Vibes coach.
But no kneecaps.
No kneecaps. So could Schotty be worth wins that way? I have no idea.
Maybe a better comp for Schotty in terms of his vibes. I mean, but because Dan Quinn's also a play caller, but he's a pro player vibes guy. And I mean, if you look what happened in Washington last year,
Quinn's a vibes guy. Yeah, but he does. Like, people respect
his play calling
defensive
too.
play calling probably. I don't mean to say that nobody respects Schotty, but
like, more than Schotty,
nobody's
offensive.
looking at it like there's a top 5 guy.
Right.
Like, watch out, it's Schotty.
So maybe he should aspire to be Dan Quinn.
Yeah, that works. I just don't know. That's the one that you don't know. You can't quantify because we also are in the off season where, to the very beginning of the show, hope springs eternal.
Yeah,
everybody's in a good mood. Unless you're in a giant contract dispute, and in their case, even that one's going fine right now, I think. Like, Micah Parsons doesn't seem mad about anything or whatever. He's good. Everybody's going to be happy right now. So the vibes are great. And I remember the Athletic article when McCarthy left and they were going to have to bring in a new coach, and it was like, the one thing I heard from multiple people inside the building is what they're going to miss is Mike McCarthy's culture.
Yeah.
And then whoever the next guy was, it's like, dude, his culture's way better. I'm like, okay. All right, we just don't know.
Because here's the thing when I look at coaching, right? Because do you play in a talented league? Yes. Do you have talented players? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens now? I remember a couple years ago, this is like maybe like the first year of Tom Thibodeau when he was with the Knicks. And it was like, the Knicks play so hard. And it was like, yeah, but what happens when someone else plays just as hard as you?
For sure.
And they're more talented than you.
You lose.
Right.
That's what happens.
And so what happens now, and this is why, because what got me to thinking about it, because I'm like, okay, the vibes are good, the energy's good around. And that's why I asked you the question, how many wins is Schotty worth? Because you're going to come to a point in time in the game where you enter a game, and guess what? You're the more talented football team. Just by sheer numbers and players, you're more talented, right? You're going to enter some games where maybe you're not more talented than that football team. And then you're going to enter some of those games where it's pretty even. What's the separating factor?
Yeah.
What's the thing that can get us over the hump? And those are the wins or losses that you take on the chin throughout the year and you go, man, we really could have used that. And so what prompted that question for me was, when we get past the vibes, when we get past the culture, is he worth, and is his coaching staff worth wins?
Yeah.
Can you, when all else fails or all things are created equal across the board, do you have what it takes to coach us to victory? Whether that be scheme, right call, right substitution, late game, halftime, whatever that is, having the Pedro Serranos to drop him in that moment. Having the marbles to drop him in that moment. Because to me, like at one point in time, the ultimate wins above replacement coach was Bill Belichick, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like Bill was always good for 3, maybe 4 wins a game because you hear McCourty talk about, man, I remember Bill came to me in pregame and said, hey, the wind is blowing this way in the stadium. Just know that they throw the ball this way and it hangs up there, it's going to fall short. Ended up being a game-sealing interception for McCourty.
Yeah.
And right, so Bill was always the one that had
secretly it was Ernie Adams. That was
whatever. It's a coaching staff, right? It was Ernie, right, working the percentages to do it. And that's my thing when I look at it is, can Schotty, outside of the vibes, actually coach us to victories?
Yeah.
Because, there's some games that CD and Dak going to go off. George Pickens are going to go off. Mike is going to have a historic day. Like those moments are going to happen. But when it gets to that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To that.
Yeah, I know what you want to say.
You know what I wanted to say. I caught myself, right? That's so maturity. But when it gets to that Mando area time, what will Schotty be able to bring this football team?
I think Schotty, this is all make it quick. I think Schotty's going to end up being a better head coach than a play caller. I think to everything we're talking about, because the details, I think he thinks that way in terms of like, oh, hey, which way is the wind blowing? Let me figure this out. That's what I kind of think is going to happen. That's kind of a prediction, but we'll see.
All right, well, coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we've got one segment left, and we may have some breaking Micah Parsons news. Not the big, giant variety of like him signing a contract, but we may have a Micah Parsons update anyway, and some around the NFL things. Those are all next for you on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. All right, I also want to encourage you to sign up to be a diehard, or John, you can tell me what you want to do. You want to talk about Vegas? You want to talk about diehard? Are we ball knowing? I don't know, but I want you to be a diehard. Okay, hey, go. Look, you all want to go to Vegas with us? We're going. Our friends at True Fan Travel get you squared away. We're taking a road trip to Las Vegas. We're going to do our pre- and post-game show out there. You could do 3 nights at a nice hotel out there with us. Party it up with Pop. We'll rename one of the places out there by the end of the trip.
100%.
You know, Joe gets pulled in that Pop nonsense too. So wherever Pop goes,
Yeah, he'll be stuck.
050 Joe going too.
Yep.
Have to be. You got to be on his tail.
Yep. Can't get away from it.
Nope.
Also, you can sign up to be a diehard. And we want you to do that, which is at alldlls.com. That makes sure that you're up to date with everything that happens with all of your local DFW sports team, including our Dallas Wings. We are expanding a bunch of WNBA coverage here in the All City Network. Which is that the right way? Are you pointing the right way?
Right way.
It's as close as I can get. But yeah, that's where you want to sign up right there to be a diehard. Alldlls.com. Get you hooked up in our Discord lounge where we're all hanging out and having a wonderful time. You're joining over 15. I bet it's over 1,600 at this point. I might be lying, but I bet it's over 1,600 DFW diehards. And it's your one-stop shop for everything you need for all of your local sports teams. So come on in and get you some as a diehard. And if you're interested in really cool gear, shirts, things of that nature, how about a hookup with the ball knower bonus? Huh? Who's going to win the NBA Finals on the day of any of those games? Just go. Get whatever merch you want from our merch shop at alldlls.com, and then say, who do you think is going to win either the Stanley Cup game that's coming up or the NBA Finals game that's coming up. You say who you think is going to win, and if you're right, you get a gift card that matches the amount that you just spent. What's up? Now you get more stuff, more cool stuff. I like my T-shirts. They're wonderful. Alldlls.com is where you go for all of those things.
Yep. Jeff, you teases. Schottenheimer just had a very interesting thing at the podium. He just told everyone.
What do you say?
He said that, yes, Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons are in attendance at minicamp. We knew that, right? We reported that, Mo.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons is going to participate in on-field work today. He is not holding in as of now. He is participating amidst a contract dispute.
That's
boy. He's a
Shock.
PR.
Leadership.
He's a PR monster.
Leadership.
Reflects attitude.
Let's go, Micah. This is not me being facetious.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you find out that Schotty's being a little optimistic with his words. He's like, no, Micah's out there doing stuff. And it turns out that Micah walked out onto the field and saw him doing something.
Yeah, which is a great point, because that might be the case where he does warm-ups and individual drills, and then when team drills come, he's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I bet he ain't doing a ton. But
yeah, even that.
Good for him.
But even that is more than expected.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Clarence for making me think that there was going to be something important in our Slack, and he just took some pictures of Schotty at the podium.
Were they good photos?
They're okay. We're going to have to do some zooming in. So
He's
Clarence, if you're
still
listening,
in Atlanta haze, man. He's well, I should say that. He's hazy from Atlanta, not the Atlanta haze. That can be interpreted as something else.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a strand?
It is a strand.
Yeah.
Strain? Is that what that is?
So I hear.
We got some around the NFL things that we could do today, including one that I believe Jesse Hawley has for us. You got us teed up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get that thing,
Yeah.
we'll get that thing going right
Do we have
here.
any super chats that we haven't hit yet, or are we all squared away on super chats, John? Am I square? Okay. If there's two, let me hit them. Make sure you're hitting the like while you're in here. Vance is in the super chat. The one thing I want to know about Schotty, what role did he play in the offensive changes after the 2023 bye to save that season? The answer? It would be, was he responsible for getting CD to yell at everybody and say, throw me the damn ball? Because that's what changed.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, what about if you just threw it to me all the time? And Dak was like, I'll try it. And then everybody's like, wee.
To be fair, they listened.
Yeah.
They listened.
Knight is in the super chat. Is his last name helping him in terms of
Schottenheimer?
Schotty? Probably.
Yeah.
It helps. But I mean, it didn't help him get a head coaching job over the last 20 years. So I don't know that it's like that's why he got hired. But
Is it helping him coach?
I don't know in terms of like the perception with, I don't know.
I mean, of course, he comes into the league with that name. That definitely helps you get into the league. I don't know if that ain't helping wins above replacement.
He cites many things that his dad told him just about being a head coach, and now that he finally has the chance.
My favorite is when he was like, boy, my dad would hate this.
Yeah.
And he's like, the way I do practice, he's like, my dad is looking down from heaven like, that ain't how you practice.
Well, Pete Carroll's a huge inspiration on him, on Schottenheimer. So.
Willie said, my dad already has his coffin. How about yours, Jeff? He does not, but Father's Day is coming up.
I saw a coffin on Fat Kids deal. You should.
It's from some stupid comedy movie where a guy's like, my grandma's turning 80-something years old, and I don't know what to get her. And the guy's like, get her a coffin.
You know you can get coffin insurance.
I don't know what that means.
That pays for the coffin. Like,
oh.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, that's not insurance. Insurance would be if something happened to your coffin.
That's true.
Well, maybe, how am I putting that? Maybe a payment plan.
Okay.
You get a coffin payment
I'll
plan.
put a coffin on layaway. You got one picked out? What color you want?
I want to be cremated.
Oh.
Don't waste your money and putting that in a box. Take me right to the furnace.
That's fair. I want to be taxidermied.
All right. So I found this list on NFL.com from Judy Batista.
Especially if I'm ever married. I'm going to put it in my will that you must stuff me and put me in the rocking chair in the living room. So if she remarries, I'm in the house.
So Judy wrote this article. I know it's early, but it's the 2025 NFL MVP Dark Horses.
DakPrescott, number one. Bang, bang.
Do you think Dak is in this list?
Absolutely. Unless he's too good to be considered a dark horse.
I think he should be.
I think he should be in this list.
Should be.
Chat, do you think Dak Prescott, she listed 10. Do you think Judy Batista put Dak Prescott on this list?
Also, me and Jeff don't know the list, by the way. So we're excited to find out.
I could see CD even being on the list, but Dak, I had to hear the names. Because if he's not on the list, it better be
Javonte Williams.
Because he exists like above the line of being considered a dark horse.
Well, here are some of the early dark horses to win the MVP in 2025. In alphabetical order, she put them.
Smart.
That's a cop-out.
It is a cop-out. That's a smart cop-out, though. That's a smart cop-out.
That's a cop-out.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Okay, if he's a dark horse, then Dak should be in this category, too.
Yeah, because was
best running back in the NFL.
Was Saquon in the top 3 or 4 last year? I bet he was right around there.
Top 3.
Right? You probably had 2 quarterbacks at least, and then him.
For sure.
Something like that.
When you win Offensive Player of the Year, I think you're definitely in that conversation.
Well, Offensive Player of the Year just means you forgot to play quarterback.
That's true.
That's all you can get.
You should have thrown more.
Next up, Jamar Chase.
Okay. Boy, he's so good.
He's so good,
He's so good.
Well,
that's all. I just, every time I hear his name, that's all I think is that I don't know what else to say other than, man, he's so good. Could you imagine lining up in front of that man and it's like, no, it's just you and him today?
Nope.
I know a bunch of flag football corners that could handle him, though. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I see what's happening. All right, that's what we're doing.
No, I was with you on
That's
this.
a good shot.
Oh, okay.
That's a good shot you took at him right there.
Jamar Chase would be a problem on a flag football field. Any of the best receivers in the league would be. They would struggle on defense. Their offense would probably be all right.
Next up, that Judy Batista has as one of the dark horses to win the MVP award in 2025-2026 season. Alphabetical order, she put them. Number 3, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, they're going to say blue.
Jaden Daniels. After his rookie season.
Is he... I don't know how to phrase this.
I think we might be on the same page.
I think Jaden's a baller. I think he's going to be a good quarterback all the way, forever. He might have a C.J. Stroud coming, though.
That's what I'm wondering.
I called what happened to the Texans. I'm like, look, taking the league by storm is one thing. Smacking people who know you're a problem is tougher.
Fourth place
I don't know
schedules
what
are nice.
Washington's going to be this year. They could be an 8 or 9 win team. Like, don't pencil them in for 11 or 12.
Okay.
That might be an 8-win team.
I'm with you.
It's harder when people see you coming.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Facts.
All right, we go on a little quarterback run right here. Next up, number 4.
Dak.
Jared Goff.
Oh.
You think he's
Lions put up big numbers. Lions will put up big offensive numbers.
Lions lost their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, now the head coach.
Oh,
lost
yeah.
their defensive coordinator.
Lost their defensive coordinator.
Lost their starting center.
Well, that sucks for Dan Campbell. My guy's out here doing the best he can, and then all of his good people are bailing on him.
No, he gained a good person.
We're about to find out what kind of monster Dan Campbell is.
You're about to find out because my boy Tashard Choice is on the coach staff, coach of the running backs, baby. Let's go, Choice.
Yeah, but they're just running backs. What are they going to do?
Wow.
Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, what are you going to do? Those are 2 good running backs to coach.
I would trade so much to them right now to flip running backs with them.
Here's another interesting one, and maybe he finally lives up to all of the hype.
Oh, Trevor
Lawrence? Is it Trevor Lawrence?
Justin Herbert.
Oh. Yeah, the souped-up version of Trevor Lawrence.
He he's a guy who has all of the qualifications to be a great quarterback.
He's got the numbers too. Yeah.
Like every intangible you want in a quarterback, he has.
I know, but he went to the Chargers. And you can't break, well, you can. I'd say it's hard to break generational curses. Like some people do it, and I'm very proud of you if you have. But there's a reason they call it chargering. And he can't get him out of it. If it's the fourth quarter and it's a close game, there will be some chargering that happens.
We saw it in the playoffs against the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. The Chargers will charger. And it's hard to break that.
Next on this list, and Judy says, perhaps the darkest of the darkest horse on this list. Now,
wait,
this
is he
player,
the darkest?
This kid might be the darkest skin on this one.
Damn,
I don't think she meant it that way, but as I read it, it just felt like.
All right, Joe, who's the darkest MVP candidate in the league?
We'll see.
About to get real. That's a good call.
We'll see.
Travis Hunter.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty good.
He's pretty dark.
He's got is it a lot of melanin or no melanin?
It's a lot.
A lot of
more melanin is.
But he's from the South. Like he's from Georgia.
He's from Florida.
From Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He's from
Or no, he might be from
Georgia.
Georgia.
I think he's from Georgia.
He's not going to win the MVP, but I do hope that he has a monster season. Like I hope he's 1,000-yard.
What does he have to do? What does he have to do to be in the conversation and win MVP? Like,
well, he has to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
Okay,
That's
1,000-yard receiver.
He has to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
5 interceptions.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it would
sixes?
have to be interception based, but if he plays 60% of defensive snaps and is known, whether it's via some sort of advanced stats or if people who like PFF grades, whatever, but if it's known that as a rookie he was kind of shut down corner-ish and a 1,000-yard receiver, I give it to him.
So yeah, if he's a top 3 corner in the NFL and a 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, and maybe that's not enough.
It might
top
be.
10 receiver, top 10 corner to me is enough to be the MVP, but I don't think it would be statistically for him.
Yeah,
because we don't know. We haven't seen this.
I know.
Not in my life.
Next
Maybe
up-
Bob Hayes played corner. I don't know.
probably did.
And remember, this is alphabetical order
Okay.
for Judy Batista. Next up,
Oh, so Dak's
Zach
out of there.
Wilson.
Or are we alphabetical last or
alphabetical.
first? Last name?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
last name.
Okay, so we
last name. Jalen Hurts.
Y'all don't want me to talk about Jalen.
The reigning Super Bowl MVP, Hurts was uneven last year, but finished second in MVP voting in 2022.
I was gonna say if they have a good year after they win a Super Bowl with him, if he has a good year, like a better year, if there's improvement, I could see voters. I wouldn't do it, but I could see voters being swayed.
He's all right. Sometimes I was watching their playoff run and I was wondering, like, could I have had that stat line?
Yeah.
And I don't think I could have done the runs that he had. I don't think I got it in my lower body. But most of the passes, I think I could have made those passes. So, hey, here's what you're going to do. You're going to hand to Saquon twice for 37 yards, and then you're going to take a snap, and it's going to be man coverage.
You're going to chuck
and
it
you're going to
deep.
decide which one of these incredible wide recievers that's wide open
It's a good life
are you
to
going
live.
to throw it to?
It's a great life to live.
Good
I
life
do a
to
little
live.
hating on Jalen Hurts. A little hating. Boomer Sooner, though. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, this next one up, they think this next player is going to have a resurgence. He was on the rise, not this past season, the season before.
And then he went,
And then he had a little dip. Injuries were a cause of it.
Carson
All this
Wentz.
stuff happened.
He's had a dip.
He's had a dip, all right. Like a stinky one, like right here.
They don't stink. They taste. They smell
stink.
good.
They stink.
Wintergreen, mint.
Jordan Love.
He
His
took a dip.
production dipped in 2024 in part of injury, but also due to the presence of Pro Bowl running back Josh Jacobs. If he plays more like he did in his first season as a starter, and the Packers win a few more games, Love could be back at the level he get noticed.
We're obsessed with making the like off-platform throws now. Where
I
your body's
know.
doing weird stuff. Somebody needs to tell Jordan Love throwing the ball while running backwards is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But the times that it works, it's on SportsCenter and it's incredible. But the 11 picks that he throws when he's just like, it's cool. I know that I'm under pressure and I'm going, and he just throws a pick. It's incredible.
All right, what else we got?
All right, number 9,
Dak.
Baker Mayfield.
We still haven't passed Prescott though. Could he be 10?
Baker Mayfield, often overlooked. Mayfield got 2 fifth-place votes last year, but deserves a deeper consideration. The Buccaneers have a top 5 offense in 2024. Baker Mayfield completed 70% of the passes
Did he get a
for
Buka?
4,500 yards.
Did he get a Buka? Is that where he went?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, he's going with the MVP.
Yeah.
you got a Buka.
Yeah, he's going with the MVP.
I love Baker.
Yeah.
I love Baker too.
Next, C.J. Stroud.
Wait, P is before S, right?
Oh,
Dak
Dak's
didn't
not
make
on
the
list. best.
And last but not least,
And Hurts
C.J.
is.
Stroud. Stroud endured a sophomore slump last season, but that was in due part to poor offensive line and a terrible string of injuries to his wide receivers. The O-line has been overhauled, and the Houston invested in wide receivers in the offseason. If the line gels, Stroud could regain the form he had in 2023 when he won Offensive Rookie of the Year and a handful of other MVP votes.
Dak should be on the list. Shout out to Freak Jesus, my guy Kerry Matthews. He used to send us all of the nerd clusters up at the last radio station I was at. And he's putting in the super chat, Jeff, treat them boys to some nerds clusters.
We deserve it.
We'll get those squared away for you. All right. Thank you. Dak should have been on the list.
Been on the list.
Probably at the top of it.
No MVP.
And thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Whatever day of the week it is, I bet we have a show tomorrow. So we'll see you
Today's
tomorrow.
Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday.
After Monday, Tuesday, even the calendar says WTF. So we will see you tomorrow. Remember, you have no idea when anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.